All right, so in this video, I'm gonna be discussing the 4 downsides of being a handsome and attractive man. And these are the 4 things that most people don't even talk about, right? Now, I know this sounds crazy, like how do handsome and attractive men have downsides? Like their life should be on easy mode. They should have a whole bunch of women chasing them and pursuing them. Like handsome and attractive men have it easy, right? That's what a lot of people think. But as crazy as all this sounds, there are actually downsides to being considered a handsome and attractive man to women. And I'm gonna be discussing those 4 downsides in this video. That way you understand why they happen and how to actually navigate those 4 downsides and not self-sabotage yourself. So the first downside, man, is that as a handsome and attractive man, you're going to experience rejection, right? Nobody is exempt from rejection. You can be the best looking guy on the planet. It doesn't matter. You're still gonna get rejected by women. Now, to what degree do you get rejected by women versus somebody that may not be as good looking as you or whatever, it's gonna be different, right? But nevertheless, even the handsome and attractive men get rejected, but it's not even just getting rejected that is a downside, because everybody experiences that. It's more so when you are a handsome, attractive man, the rejection feels a lot heavier. The reason why it feels a lot heavier is because you probably have been receiving a lot of external validation from men and women, right? Like men giving you compliments, hyping you up, being inspired by you, maybe talking about like how in shape you are, how they wish they looked like you, they wish they could dress like you, they wish they could get the same type of female attention that you're getting, right? Or if you're somebody watching this right now, you're improving your looks, maybe you're starting to experience these things, you're starting to experience how people are treating you for the better. But as you continue to get a lot of this external validation, you do start to develop an identity to being a handsome and attractive man, especially when it comes to women. Maybe you've had women start to pursue you a lot more. You've had women come to you. You've experienced more positive treatment and behavior from women than maybe the average man. With that being said, you start to kind of build almost like a fragile identity around being a handsome, attractive man. You're going to be a lot more fearful of putting yourself out there, maybe, shooting your shot at a particular woman, right? Or if you're talking to a girl on a dating app, she ghosts you randomly, a girl flakes on you. And not only do you take that as rejection, that rejection is a lot heavier because you're going to be thinking to your mind, like, wait, why did this happen to me? Like, why did this girl reject me? Why did she flake on me? Why did she ghost me? Like, I'm a good looking man. Like, why would she do this? Like, does this mean like now I'm not a good looking man? Does this mean that now all the results that I've gotten with women are negated? They go out the window because this one woman like ghosted me, she rejected me, she flaked on me, it didn't seem like I was her type, whatever. You start to fill your mind up with all of these negative thoughts and assumptions. And here's the fact of the matter, man, is that women are going to reject a man for whatever reason, and you never really know unless they outright tell you. But as a handsome and attractive man specifically, not only are you going to experience rejection is probably going to feel a lot heavier for you because of the identity that you have built around being a handsome and attractive man based on your experiences with women in particular, right? And just people in general, and just receiving positive feedback from your environment. So with that being said, my advice to you in that regard is don't just take one person's rejection towards you as the end all be all. Like one girl doesn't dictate, how attractive and desirable you are to other women or all your past successes. And that's why I'm very big on reflecting on your evidence. Your evidence is just simply experiences that you've actually have had with women as far as wins, successes, right? Just positive experiences that you've had with women that prove that you are an attractive and desirable man. Reflect on those positive experiences consistently. That way you know that even if a girl rejects you, it shouldn't feel as heavy because you have all these other positive experiences that are your evidence that you can reflect on and remind yourself that you are that dude regardless if a girl rejects you. The second downside is that women are going to be intimidated by you, even the attractive ones that you want, even the attractive ones that you find desirable. Those women could perhaps find you even more desirable than you find them desirable, or at the very least like around the same amount of desirability that you have for them. These are going to be the same women that may be intimidated by you. These are going to be the same women that are going to be nervous around you. They're going to think that you may be a player, that you're a jerk, or that you're just out of their league. And this is going to be a big mind fuck for a lot of dudes, because this was a big one for me, where you like transcend from being like an average looking dude or even a slightly above average looking dude. But then when you become a more handsome and attractive man to women, like you've been looks maxing, you've been, dialing in your physique, you've been maybe testing out different hairstyles that suit your face shape and your head shape. You've upgraded your fashion, your style, your overall sex appeal. You start to see over time that you're becoming more of an attractive and desirable man. What you're going to experience when you're transitioning into that type of man is that you're going to see that even the women that maybe you mentally put on a pedestal or that you thought were too attractive for you, like you weren't in their league, like you couldn't get them, they were out of reach, those same women are going to feel that exact same way about you. And that's a big mind fuck, because you're not going to be prepared for that mentally. You're still going to be like, dang, wait, me? Like she's into me? Like she's attracted to me? Like this girl who I thought was out of my league, like she thinks I'm out of her league? Like I've had girls that I found that were very attractive that thought I was a catfish, right? Or girls that I met in person while I was out. These girls approached me, but they approached me because they didn't think that they were attractive enough to me for me to then approach. But little did they know, I thought they were like one of the most attractive women in the spot. You see how crazy that is? And you're gonna have to rewire your mind over time. And this is something that's very important. I would say this is one of like the biggest downsides of being a handsome, attractive man, is that you're not gonna be ready for the new identity shift that you're gonna have to take on, as far as like the new positive experiences that you're going to receive when you go from being like an average looking guy to an above average looking guy, or like a handsome, attractive man. The positive experiences and treatment are going to be a lot different, and you're not going to be ready for that in terms of the identity that you have of yourself on the inside, because the external validation, the external results that you receive may be very different than how you view yourself on the inside. Like you've updated your external identity, your results in the real world are reflecting that, but you may still view yourself as that unattractive guy in high school, middle school, elementary school. You may still look at yourself as that average looking dude that women passed up on, that the attractive women that you wanted, they didn't even notice you, right? So you're gonna have to be prepared for this. Also, what you'll find is that a lot of women may come off more disinterested and have a demeanor of indifference to them. And you could take that as rejection, right? Like you can almost take like their silence as rejection, because maybe as a handsome, attractive man, you're used to women coming to you, women sliding up on your stories on Instagram or sliding into your DMs, girls messaging you first on dating apps and validating you and talking about how attractive you are and all these things. So then in person, when you're around women, you may see like an attractive woman that you're into, and she may even look like the type of level of women that you've dealt with in the past or you're starting to deal with, but you may think like, oh, because she didn't look at you, she didn't acknowledge you, she's quiet around you, whether this is at the gym, this is at the grocery store, like the bar, lounge, whatever, you feel like a lot of the women are around you in person, their indifference and their silence is just rejection by omission. But little do you know, these women may be thinking that you're very attractive, that you're out of their league, that you already have a girl. Like you just never know, right? You just never know. And that's the thing, is that not only will the women that you find attractive that maybe you thought were out of your league, or at the very least you wouldn't think that they would have a lack of confidence or at least shaky confidence around you, well, those are the same women that actually do. And they are the attractive ones, the ones that you desire. They're gonna be feeling that about you. And that's why you gotta be ready for that mental identity shift and be prepared to really embody the handsome, attractive man that is now desirable, and transcend from maybe the average looking guy, the guy that was being overlooked, to now being the man that is desirable. If you want extra help when it comes to turning your downsides into leverage as a handsome, attractive man, and start having more women coming to you, but you actually embodying this identity and actually being confident with your looks. Like you're not just a handsome, attractive man on the outside, but you feel that way about yourself on the inside. And that's all about reshifting your self-image and your identity. And I've had to help a lot of guys, even guys that are handsome, attractive. They even struggled with their mental identity, their self-confidence, their self-esteem. They weren't able to really use their looks and physical attractiveness as a leverage in dating because they were self-sabotaging themselves, right? And I literally break down step by step how you can solve that in that free training. Check that out after this video. The third point, and this is just a piggyback off the second one, is that you're going to have to rewire your self-image. This is extremely important, right? This is extremely important. I'm very big on self-image, and self-image is just the way that you view yourself, the way that you view yourself in your mind. And I learned a lot about self-image from the book Psycho-Cybernetics. I would highly suggest that you check it out. But in the book, Psycho-Cybernetics says that we can't outperform our self-image. We can't rise above the standard of our self-image. And when you are a handsome and attractive man, but more specifically, you have transcended into a handsome, attractive man. And when you go from being like the average looking guy or the guy that was overlooked to being this handsome and attractive man, and you're starting to get all this type of treatment and attention, you may not be ready for it, and you may end up self-sabotaging yourself because you haven't updated your identity. You haven't updated your self-image. And here's the thing, I've had to help a lot of guys that are good looking to women, that been with women that were even models, right? I had to help them update their self-image and their overall mindset, because even with them being good looking, even with them having positive results, having results that would otherwise make anybody else confident in themselves, well, these same guys were still self-sabotaging themselves, because although they were getting all this positive reinforcement on the outside, they didn't do the same thing for themselves on the inside, right? They were still maybe that young kid that was overlooked, that was overweight, or that was super skinny, that couldn't get the girls that he wanted. That same type of young man or boy even was still inside them. They updated their external hardware, but that internal hardware wasn't updated. That's why a lot of handsome, attractive men who get a lot of positive treatment from women and positive experiences with women will still self-sabotage, because they don't view themselves as that desirable and attractive man on the inside. You have to update your internal identity and self-image with the new external identity and self-image that the world has been sending you, right? As far as like the results that you've been getting. So you have to update your self-image, right? You can't just be this handsome, attractive man on the outside and you're getting all these women and guys are complimenting you and people are nice to you and it seems like everyone wants to be around you. Like you're experiencing all these perks on the outside, but you have to view yourself the same way on the inside. And like I said in that last point, man, you want to reflect on your evidence. So just like, I don't care if you need to make a folder on your phone where you have screenshots of women telling you that you're attractive and girls that you match with on dating apps and girls that you've been with and girls that slid into your DMs on Instagram. I know this sounds silly, but just like how you have to build your body up in the gym consistently multiple times a week, you need to do this as well when it comes to your mindset and your self-image. This is why I call the evidence board. Is basically when you either create like the equivalent of a vision board, like, you know, when people have pictures of things that they want to attract in their life, you want to do the equivalent of that, but create an evidence board or like an evidence file where you have screenshots and pictures that just remind you that you are that desirable dude. Because the more you constantly reflect on these things, the more that your mind will start to absorb these experiences, the more you're going to start to ingrain this into your mind, your identity, and then eventually your identity on the inside is going to catch up with the identity that you've cultivated on the outside from your positive experiences that you've just received in life, not just in dating, but in life in general, as being a handsome and attractive man. So definitely update your self-image, because if you don't, bro, you're going to self-sabotage yourself, and it's almost going to be pointless to be this good-looking and attractive man, but you keep self-sabotaging the positive results that you're receiving, right? So definitely rewire your self-image for sure. And then the fourth and final downside of being a handsome, attractive man is like you almost have this pressure of constantly being on point, right? Constantly being this good-looking, well put together man. You feel like you always have to be on top of like your hair. You need to make sure like your facial hair is constantly trimmed and you're always wearing like these nice clothes when you go out and stuff like that. You can't eat any of those like delicious meals that you really want to have. Like you feel like you have to really be on point with your looks, because over time you built an identity that has to do with being a good-looking man and receiving that external validation from people, receiving that external validation and those positive experiences and behaviors that you've more than likely have experienced from dating women. You feel like this pressure to constantly look your best, to constantly be on point, right? Have you ever felt this way? Comment down below if you have, because I know I have. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I love like dressing fly. I love, you know, looking good in the sense of just like wearing nice clothes and being well put together. Like I've always been into that. And large part of that's because I've seen that when I've done that, I've gotten positive results and feedback. So keep doing what works, right? But I enjoy doing it for myself, right? But bro, like this is what I wear, man. Like this is where I wear, like I wear on a regular basis, bro. I got this wife beater on. I got these joggers on that you can't see. I like to wear chill clothes 80 to 90% of the time. I enjoy dressing. I know how to dress. I know how to look good, but I'm only gonna do those things when I go out and when I want to. That's the biggest thing that I tell men is like, only dress up when you really feel like you want to. Now, maybe in certain situations like networking events or like dinners or whatever, right? Maybe corporate events, corporate parties, you're gonna have to like dress up and make sure you're well put together. But like in the context of you being able to decide whether or not like you wanna dress up and look good when you go out, depending on where it is that you're going, I suggest that you only dress up when you feel like you want to, because when you feel like you wanna dress up and then you do, the results and just the overall charisma and just the vibe and the energy that you present to the world is gonna be a lot stronger and more intense. And you're gonna see, like, I feel like you see a lot more results, like more choosing signals, maybe girls even approaching you or sending their friends to approach you. I've experienced just better positive treatment experiences when I've done that, like where I dressed up because I wanted to versus dressing up when I didn't want to. At the end of the day, don't put too much pressure on yourself to think that you have to look like this male model or constantly look on point every time you go out the crib, because the fact of the matter is like you're human at the end of the day, right? You're human at at the end of the day, even the celebrities that you see that look well put together when you see them on social media, on TV, in the movies, they're not looking like that 24/7, right? Nobody's perfect. So understand, like, bro, as long as you keep doing what you're doing, you're taking care of yourself, you have the skincare routine, grooming routine, you're in the gym consistently, you're taking care of your basic hygiene. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay if you go outside and you're wearing a hoodie or a crew neck or some sweatpants or like a wife beater and some shorts. It doesn't matter, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's not gonna change the fact that you are a good looking dude or negate all of your positive experiences in the past. You're just gonna take on too much pressure that isn't necessary, man. And you're also being too dependent on external validation that way, instead of focusing on validating yourself on the inside, because how you feel about yourself on the inside matters more than what anyone else thinks of you. I don't even care if it's the most attractive woman on the planet, because all those opinions and feelings of how people treat you and feel about you, those are going to be inconsistent, right? They're always going to be up and down. But the way that you view yourself and how you treat yourself and how you carry yourself, that's in your control. Therefore, it can be consistent. It can be rock steady. If you want to turn any of the downsides or the negative experiences that you've been experiencing or have experienced in the past as a handsome, attractive man into leverage, or even if you're a man watching this right now, maybe you're in the process of improving your looks and you just like these type of videos, they're fascinating to you, and you want extra help when it comes to accelerating your overall looks maxing and body game journey, as far as maxing out your looks, getting in better shape, dialing in your overall physical presentation, and turning that into leverage to attract more women to you, right? And have them view you as the prize, and overall just having more thriving and abundant dating life. Again, check out that free training that I have for you, link down below in the description and the pinned comment. I've helped so many guys achieve this, even guys that were average looking in the past, guys that weren't 6 foot plus. I've helped a lot of guys that are like 5'8", 5'7", even 5'6", guys that aren't rich, guys that still live at home with their parents, have no status. I mean, this free training has helped so many people. I put in so much work into it. It's like my life's work. And I'm telling you, you go and you watch that free training and you implement what I teach, you're going to max out so many different aspects of not just your dating life, but your life in general. And not only is the way that women are going to treat you going to be better, but more importantly, the way that you view and treat yourself is going to be even more better. So with that being said, if you got a lot of value from this video, please give it a like, subscribe for more videos like this. And with that being said, I'll talk to you in the next one.